students, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to discuss another new chapter, Natural Vegetation of India. Before starting this chapter, some facts, whatever very important regarding the natural vegetation of India, that we have to discuss. In this part, we are going to discuss that only. Okay. First thing you can see some of the facts that the Ban Mahotsav means the festival of trees is celebrated the first week of the July in India. National Forest Policy was inaugurated in 1952 actually AD that time. Chipko movement or the Chipko Andolan was the forest conservation movement where the people embarrassed and hugged, you can say that the trees to prevent them from being cut. So this is one of the historical events that was performed in the Uttarakhand. Okay. Then come to the Chipko movement was started in the leadership of the Sundarlal Bahuguna. And 1987, perhaps Chipko movement was started in the Right to Livelihood Award. So first thing, the Forest Research Institute is located in Dehradun, and it is means their work is to you can say that research about the forest area. It is the root while the Imperial Research of Institute under 1906 to organize the lead forestry research in the country. Indian Institute of Forestry Management (IIMFF) that was founded in 1982 in announced autonomous public institution etc. that was located in the Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, India. Okay, so this thing you have to memorize. National Forest Policy proposed that the 60% of the land in the hill areas and 20% of the plains and 33% of the total geographic area should be under the forest cover, and that can give the proper oxygen for our living. Okay, so this thing we have to understand a lot. Forest Survey of India, FSI, perhaps founded in the 1981 and headquartered at the Dehradun. So this is also an important fact. We have to understand this thing. Okay, the National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, and that is the CSIR NERI, perhaps it is the research institute created and founded by the government of India to research and to guide all the state government and the central government as well. Then you can see the number 11 Ban Mahotsav was started by K. Munshi to create the awareness of the mind of the people for the conservation of the forest and planting in new trees. In India ranked the 10th in the world, and 24.4% land area is covered with this, and tree, forest and cover. Okay, tree and forest cover. Okay, so this thing, the 10th position in the world. So that's why. Ministry of Environment, perhaps you can see forest and the climate change has been realized that the India has the forest before 1917 and started realized the total forestry or tree cover has to be increased over the 8021 square kilometer with the time from the 2015. So this we have to increase because they analyzed, I consider all these things they are analyzed, they are being analyzed nowadays also, that how much percentage of the forest can be conserved in India. So this thing we have to understand. 14 states, perhaps UTS, have the 13.3% of the geographical under the forest cover, and about 40% of the country's people are present in the large of the area size of the 10,000 square kilometer. Mizoram, Lakshadweep, then Andaman, Nicobar Islands, Arunachal Pradesh, and Nagaland, Meghalaya, mainly the Seven Sisters, or Manipur has the 75% of the forest cover. So that thing we have to understand. Tripura, Goa, Sikkim, Kerala, Uttarakhand, Dadra, Nagar and Haveli, and you can say the Chhattisgarh and Assam have the forest cover between the 33% to 35%, as I said 75%. Then you can say the Andhra Pradesh, that's followed by the Karnataka, Kerala, Odisha, and Telangana are at the rested or you can say the increase in forest cover. So this thing we have to understand. Then if we say the Madhya Pradesh and Arunachal Pradesh and Chhattisgarh are the states of the maximum forest cover in terms of the area. Actually, Madhya Pradesh is the highest. Lakshadweep, Mizoram, and Andaman Nicobar Islands, that's the percentage you can see. Lakshadweep 93.3% forest cover, Mizoram 86.27%, Andaman and Nicobar Island that has that 81.73%. And Mizoram, perhaps Nagaland. So all the area, mainly in the Northeast India, they are so much covered with the vegetation and they are very much attached to the natural vegetation. So this thing we have to, that is the fact in India case. Okay. The forest of Karnataka is famous for the sandalwoods. Perhaps you know Mysore is the renowned one of the famous name, and that's why the Mysore sandalwoods and the soap also you can see the produced there. Okay, Silent Valley in an evergreen tropical forest in Palakkad district of Kerala of India. So that is also the Silent Valley. Then if you want to discuss the valley of the flowers, it is located the West Himalaya, is the Uttarakhand, and this is the meadows of the alpine flowers you can find on, and variety of the flora you can find over there. So this is the main thing you have to understand. Then India has the majority, you can see the mulberry silk that is located in the Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Jammu Kashmir, together in the 92% of the total mulberry and the raw silk production. So that is found only in the forest area. So in that regard, our forest area very much resourceful. Okay. Then come to another thing. India contributes only 1% of the world greenhouse gases. Okay, only the emissions of the leading of the climate change. About the, you can say that's the main thing, actually the concerning matter for the environmentalist and all the leaders of our country. The forest of India is classified into, perhaps you can say, the coniferous, taiga, then maize, coniferous, deciduous, tropical deciduous. So later part we will discuss. Okay, in India, you got the 6 only type there: moist tropical, dry tropical, montane, subtropical, montane temperate, subalpine, and the alpine. So this thing we have to understand a lot. Evergreen forest, perhaps you know, that is found in the where we can found it in the, that is the Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra, in western side of the Western Ghat. Western side of the Western Ghat, and they are also found in the where the Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Tripura, Meghalaya, West Bengal, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So this thing we have to understand. Then tropical evergreen forest is found in India, Andaman, Nicobar Islands and Western Ghat, which is the fringe is the Arabian Sea, and perhaps you can say the coast of the peninsular India and the greater Assam region. So that the tropical evergreen forest. Tropical evergreen forest means this type of forest never shed their leaves. So this thing we have to understand. Then come to the Sundari tree. Perhaps you know the Sundari tree, one of the largest mangrove forest in the world, which is located in the Ganga river valley delta in Bangladesh and the West Bengal. But most of the portion is located in the West Bengal. Somehow you know. Like Pichambaram, okay, mangroves in the Tamil Nadu is the one of the largest mangrove forest in the world as well. Sundarban Delta that derive the Sundari trees, and from there the name has been came, that is the Sundarban. Okay, Sundari tree, Sundarban. Okay, so this thing you have to understand significance of that area. Then if you want to discuss a lot about this, that the Eastern Himalayas and the Western Ghats in India are called biodiversity of the capital sites. Okay, so capital sites will be found there. India is the one of the 17 mega diversity. Actually, this is in the 17 mega diversities you can find over there. Number of 10% of the world flora, fauna are threatened list. But you can see the main causes of for the habitual destruction, poaching, okay, invasive species, and you can see the over exploitation, population, and the climate change. So that time we have to concern this about Government of India, Forest Department of India have to concern that how they are disappearing from our environment, from our forest area. So this thing we have to understand, and this the solution must be there. Okay, as per this, you can see the Government Act 2017 for the Environmental Report 2045% of the island or the lands has a degraded of the erosion, soil salinity, then come the alkalinity, salinity, water logging, and water erosion. So these are the main thing we have to discuss. Then if you want to discuss that as per the States Forest Report 1917. So 2017, there you can say mangrove forest has been also increased, somehow increased, and some our government, West Bengal government, have also taken some initiative to increase the mangrove forest, because this is a protector of the any type of disaster or the cyclone. So that's why government also taking the initiative. Then come to the forest. Indian forest government has established the 18 biosphere reserve, and that is also common on the ICUN list. And among them, there perhaps you know that the first one national park. Okay, so 18 biosphere reserve also there. Okay, and you can say the national park, and there are 105 national park, 515 there is a bird sanctuaries. All these things are Project Crocodile, Project Tiger already initiated in India. Okay, for their number. Okay, so this thing we have to understand in a cradle of speciation, so that also known as the plants and the popularly known as that is the primitive flowering. Okay, so before starting this chapter, this is the introduction portion. Natural vegetation refers, what is natural vegetation? Refers the community which are grown naturally without the human and has been, you can say, the undisturbed by the human. So this thing we have to understand. And this is also the virgin vegetation, which will be because this is the untouched. Okay, and virgin vegetation which are the purely Indian are known as the indigenous species, and which are came from the outside India, it is known as the exotic species. Okay, so virgin means that are the purely Indian origin. Okay, and some of the plants that are referred as the flora, and species of the animal are known as a fauna. So this thing we have to understand. If you discuss the division, later part we will discuss the one by one, but this part we are going to discuss about the types: forest, grassland, and desertic. In the types of the forest, somehow you can say tropical rainforest, tropical deciduous forest, temperate evergreen forest, temperate deciduous forest, Mediterranean forest, coniferous forest. Okay, so this is the world basis. Tropical grassland, temperate grassland, tropical desert, and tundra region. So these are the all about our vegetation. Perhaps you can see over here, somehow you can see some of the vegetation which are located tropical moist forest. This area means the western side of western northeast India and Himalaya, the Himalaya areas or foothills of the Himalaya. Tropical wet vegetation also you can find the northeast India and some portion of the western side of the Western Ghat. Tropical semi-evergreen forest, so these are found in the western side of the Western Ghat in the different height. Okay, then tropical dry deciduous forest also found most of the India. Desert forest, tropical thorny bushes in this desert area. Then alpine and subalpine forest that is found in the Himalaya region. Himalaya and the moist temperate forest also you can find, and the subtropical forest. So these are the all about the distribution. Later video in the part 2 we will discuss about the individually all type of vegetation one by one. Thank you for watching this video.